All right, good people. Happy New Year and welcome to Worthy Wednesday. Today is January the 6th, 2021. Yo, this is our very first Worthy Wednesday, and I am so excited to see you. So happy New Year to you and welcome to Worthy Wednesday. If this is your first time, well, where have you been if this is your first time? We kicked it last year for 25 Wednesdays, and I am excited to see what 52 will bring to you individually and what it's going to bring to us. So I am happy to see you. Thank you so much for being on this journey with us here in our Worthy Women community. I've got a few exciting things planned, but the very first thing, and you already know, is Worthy Women Live 2021, the conference. Do the work. So I cannot wait. Listen, I hope to announce next week where it's going to be. I've had a really challenging but exciting time deciding where it should be. Stacy, I love you. And so I will let y'all know. I am in between. Like, I feel like I want to have it in Hawaii and Florida. Yeah, listen. When it comes to travel, Worthy Women, I always want to travel somewhere, but I have to be realistic when I'm planning something for other people to attend. So prayerfully next week, I will announce that. So I want to welcome you to Worthy Wednesday. If you have never attended, you should invite your neighbor and tell them to come and be a part of the group, because I would love to have them. I would love to meet them. Well, you know what I'm saying. Virtually, I can meet you virtually. And then we just go from there. But tonight, Worthy Women, I just want to get right to it because I have really struggled with what to talk about. I wanted to just be super pumped up and like do a party and all these things. And I often feel like a lot of times when I am preparing to do something, I have an experience in my life that causes me to reset, that causes me to rethink, that causes me to question a lot about who I am and who I want to be in my life, because for those of you that know me, I say all the time, I have not grown up yet. I'm still growing up. And so I don't know what I'm going to be quite yet when I grow up. But anyway, I just want to talk about something that I feel like is critical for our success, not just individually, but certainly as a nation and as a people. So this year, I really want you to think about what one belief that you have in your life. I want to know, what is that one belief that you want to change? I think it's important that as you examine your thought life and you examine your belief systems, that you go back and say, why did I begin to think like this? Why did my beliefs reside here, and why was I always convinced that this is how my life would always be? Anyway, that's just a little caveat to your thought process and different things. But I really want you to think about, what is one belief that you want to change? Not you want to, but you will, because you have to make a decision to change things. So what is one belief system that you will change? I mean, I have like 50 that I wrote down that I want to change, but there's one specifically that I really want to work on, and I will change that belief system. But tonight, Worthy Women for 2021, I want to kick off talking about, what about me? I feel like the entire theme of 2021 for me is going to be, what about me? And today, our nation is in a state of chaos. Like, it's literally in a state of chaos. The state of homes are in chaos. The state of schools, the state of university, things are completely out of order. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm not really big on discussing politics in the sense that I want you to be offended so I can be offended, so we can create an offense amongst each other, because that's not the point to me. If you want to have a discussion about something and you get passionate about it, I won't say you get heated, but if you're passionate about it, the thing that you must remember is that you have to be able to listen to somebody else if you want somebody to listen to you. But I digress. That's another lesson for another day. But I really want to talk about the state of me, because I thought to myself, God in heaven, with everything that's happening, I mean, I feel like we've needed a reset for a minute, but after the things that have transpired in our nation today, I said, we all need a reset. So I want to talk about me, okay? And I want you to talk about you, but I'm going to talk about me in hopes that that will help you become a better you, and it will certainly help me become a better me. So I went to the dictionary today because I didn't even know if me had a definition, because I'm like, well, it's me, right? And then I said, well, I can't use me to define the word because that doesn't make sense. So when I went to the dictionary, to my surprise, this is why I love the dictionary. The dictionary definition of me is the objective case of I. And I was like, oh, so it is in reference to the individual because I represents the individual. Okay. So then I went to the dictionary further because I wanted to know about I. So I was like, well, what does I mean? Because, we talk about I do this and I do that. But when we say me, it almost seems like it's a little bit more personal. Maybe not to y'all, but to me, because I feel like when I say, I've studied law, I've studied this, or I've studied that, I feel like that's kind of a little braggadocious. But when I say me, like me and this and that, I feel like I'm really describing the essence of who I am. I feel like I is a little bit more proper. So when I went to the dictionary to define I literally could have slapped myself, number one, and then I walked away from the dictionary. Okay, so I says it is the one who is speaking or writing. That makes sense because when someone is paying attention to someone else, that person is captivating the audience. So I have your attention right now. Okay, y'all are watching me because I'm talking and y'all are paying attention to me, right? But then the definition continued, and this is where I got up for a few minutes. Okay, it says that I means that someone is aware of possessing a personal individuality. I was like, okay, that makes sense. We say I can only be me. I am who I am. Love me or leave me. Listen, we can make up tons and tons of idioms because we do it all the time to talk about who I am versus who you are. That's you. This is not me. You be over there. I'm going to be over here. But the definition of I, which is really the definition of me, it says someone who is aware of possessing. That means you own it. Okay. Here's where accountability is going to check all of us for the next 300 and we're on day 6, right? So 359 days left, unless it's a leap year, but I think leap year was last year. I digress. Someone who is aware of possessing a personal individuality. Well, then I just thought to myself, well, what does me really mean? Well, it means the last two words, personal individuality. But because I am a nerd, okay, I had to go define personal, and then I had to define individuality because those two things make up me. So let's read it, shall we? So personal. This definition caused me to walk away from the dictionary yet again. It says relating to an individual. That makes sense because I'm speaking specifically of myself. Or, and this is where it got heavy, an individual's character, an individual's conduct, an individual's motives, or an individual's private affairs, often done in an offensive manner. Me is personal individuality. So the personal part of me, the part that people see, it's my conduct, it's my character, it's my motives, and it's the private affairs that I do or perform, often done in an offensive manner. Personal also means being rational or self-conscious. And individuality, that means separate or distinct existence. So when I am talking about me, I am specifically speaking about the things that define who I am, my character, my conduct, and my motives. I am also talking about my separate or distinctive existence. So when I say, what about me? I want you to understand that what I'm actually saying is I don't care about anyone else or anything else. When I say what about me, what I am asking you is I want everything that is in the world, that is in this situation, that is in this moment. I want everything to be focused on me, on my character, on my conduct, on my motives, and if possible, any private affairs that I may or may have not done to you or someone else in an offensive manner, because my existence is separate from everybody else and it is distinct, meaning I am not subject to the same rules and regulations that you are, because you are you and I am me. So if you hear me say, what about me? It is not a plea for you to stop paying attention to others. It is a plea for you to only pay attention to me. Now, worthy women, listen to me. I really don't know if anybody else is going to get this, but I thought how befitting at the beginning of a year, at the beginning of a time where the world seems so uncertain, how different would it be if we all were not walking around saying, what about me? What about me? What about what I'm experiencing? What about the things that are happening in my life? What about my job? What about my career? What about my finances? What about my house? What about my debt? What about my money? What about my relationship? What about my heartache? What about my depression? Now listen to me, worthy women. The reason why this resonates so deeply with me is because I have learned that at critical moments in my life, I have heard myself say, what about me? Not what is happening to me, but what about me? What about me and everything that I'm experiencing? What about the heartache? What about the disappointment? What about the rejection? I have stood at moments in my life saying, what about me? Does anybody care about me? Does anyone care how this makes me feel? Does anybody care that this happened? Does anybody want me to be okay with this situation? And what I am saying to you tonight is the reason why we are experiencing things in a time that seems unprecedented, that doesn't even seem realistic. I'm thinking, can it get any more crazy than it is right now? And then immediately I thought, what about me? Is there any time in my life where I have said to myself, could I get any more crazy? Could I be any more angry? Could I be any more disappointed? Could I be any more hostile? Could I be any more mean to this person? Could I be more manipulative? Could I be more vindictive? Because see, when you cross me, I want to cross you back. See, that's the part of the definition that says we do private affairs, often in an offensive manner, because when something becomes about somebody else, I want me to be back in the center. And that means if I have to do something in private in order to publicly change the focus from that particular subject or that individual back to me, then I'm willing to do it. Because see, the definition of me is someone aware or possessing personal individuality, which means I'm going to take whatever part of me that is working against you, and I am going to use that in a distinct manner. Now, I don't really know how I am supposed to recover from talking to you about me, because why in the world would I expose myself? Why would I say anything about me? Why would I even display an ounce of weakness? Why would I show me in a light that doesn't make sense to others? Well, it probably does, but it doesn't make sense to me, because when I believe everything is about me, I'm willing to risk everything else, including you, because I would rather remain focused and the center of attention than correcting me. Listen to me. Worthy women, maybe y'all don't do that. I can just talk about me, because honestly, it's about me anyway. But there have been times in my life that I have shifted situations and circumstances. Number one, because I'm really smart. Number two, because I know how to do things. And because I love to talk, words are my friends. So I know a lot of words, but there have been things that I have done to people because I wanted the attention off them and I wanted it on other people. There have been things that I've done to other people because I wanted the attention on me. I wanted everyone to feel what I was feeling. I wanted everyone to focus on me. On me. Have y'all ever done? Has anyone? I mean, is anyone actually willing to admit that they've wanted everything to be about them? I'm raising my hand for me because I know y'all don't do this stuff, but let me raise my hand so y'all can see it. So, what happens? This is what I ask myself every day almost. What happens when everything becomes about me? What I want, what I need, what I desire. If I like this, I want you to execute. If I don't like it, I want you to execute that. But what happens when everything becomes about me? Every conversation, every program, every idea, every thought, every plan, every single moment. What happens when everything is about me? What happens? What happens to the rest of the people that I am responsible for and to? What happens to the responsibility that I have to be a good example, to be a good leader? What happens to my character, my conduct, my motives? When everything in my life centers around me. Well, what happens when everything is about me? I create a mess. I create chaos. I create hurt. I create disappointment because I want everything to be about me. And a funny story I thought about as I was thinking about this when I kept just saying, well, what about me though? I mean, well, sometimes it creates a mess. I mean, sometimes, not every time. Sometimes it can create disappointment. I mean, not every single time if I make stuff about me, does it create a problem? I mean, well, 7 out of 10 maybe, but then I still have 3 times where nothing really happened, even though I made the situation about me. I really started to think, and I really wanted to justify, well, if everything isn't about me every single time, is it really that bad that I want everything to be about me anyway? I mean, is it? Because I'm just wondering what's so bad about me being the center of everything. And I thought to myself, that's the problem, Carrie. You don't think there's a problem being the center of everything as long as everything is working according to what my conduct, my motives, my character. But I'm not really paying attention to the cost of me in everybody else because I still want everything to be about me. So, what happens when I create a mess for myself? Because here's the reality. When you make everything in your life about me, well, you, not me, but when you make everything about you, you create a mess, not only for you, but for everybody else who's associated with you and for everybody else who's walking with you, because you are now asking them to not think about themselves, to not think about what's good for them, to not question your character, to not question your conduct, to not question your motives. You're saying to them, what I'm about to do is what everybody needs to do. How I act is how everybody needs to act. And if you don't, then I don't want you in my life, because in case you were wondering, this is just about me. It's not about you, because I want everything. I want what I want when I want it. It's about me, 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 me. What can you give me? What can you do for me? How can you help me? How can you teach me? Oh, wait, when everything is about me, I don't want to be taught by anybody. I don't want to learn. I don't want to be accountable, because then if I have to become accountable, then my life becomes more about other things than myself. And when I'm walking around saying, because that is the cry of the nation, what about me? What about me? What about my rights? What about this? What about this? But I'm wondering tonight, worthy women, if we too, as individuals, are guilty in our private lives, walking around saying to people, what about me? What about me? What about me and the way you hurt me when you did so and so and so? What about me when you didn't pay that money back? What about me when you lied on me and I got in trouble? What about me when you didn't care that hurt my feelings? What about me? Now, let me just do a timeout right here. I just want you to know that I understand sometimes things have to be about the person individually. Sometimes you need to be asking the question, what about me? If you're walking through something in your life, or you're having a difficulty, if you're experiencing something and you need to get that fixed, you need to be asking, what about me right now? Because you need help and you need to get that fixed. But I'm not talking about that when you're asking the question because you want to be accountable and you want your life to be different. I'm talking about the way we live pretty much 95% of the day, pretty much 95% of the time in our life, where I am literally oblivious to everything that's happening in the world because I only want people to be concerned about me. Whatever goes on in my world, whatever goes on in my life is more important than what's going on in your life. So here's what I thought. When I ask people, what about me? Or when I'm walking around screaming it in my relationships, at my children, at my job, at my church, at the gym, I'm walking around saying to people with my character, with my conduct, with my mouth, what about me? What about me? What I'm really saying is, I'm not asking anything about you because I don't care. I don't care if you're hurting. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you need prayer. I don't care if you need help. I don't care about anybody else because all I want to think about, and notice the word choice there. When I am asking what about me, I am choosing. That means I have decided, I make it plain to everyone that I am only interested in what's in it, how funny, for me. I don't care about assisting other people. I don't want to be accountable. I don't want to help somebody along the way. I only want what's best for me. And I'm willing to step on, step over, kick, hurt, abuse, deny, lie in order to get what I want. And then, this is what we do. We'll say, oh my God, I'm so thankful for everyone that helped me get to where I am. I just want to thank the Lord. I want to thank so and so and so and so. But in reality, we don't mean that because we don't think anybody helps us, because when everything is about me, nothing you say, nothing you do, nothing you offer matters. Even if I take it, and here's where the rubber meets the road, even when you offer help or assistance to somebody else and they take it and they get the promotion and they get the job and they get the house and they get the money and you get nothing, I still say, what about me? Because see, the problem is, worthy women, the me is never satisfied. When I want everything to be about me, I am never satisfied. I'm never satisfied with what you give because I want you to give more. I'm never satisfied with how you help because I want you to help more. I'm not satisfied with what you've offered because I want you to offer more. See, when the world is just about me, I'm not looking how I can help somebody else. If you're not helping me, I don't want you in my world. If you're not doing for me, I don't even want you in my life. So then I said to myself, what's the problem, Carrie? I mean, as we start a new year, how in the world? I mean, I look at the world today and I said, God in heaven, if you don't help us, we're not going to make it. And that, my friends, is the truth. But then I thought to myself, the reason why we are experiencing the things that we are experiencing has nothing to do with racism. It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with what you believe versus what I believe. What it has to do with is people choosing me over everybody else. If I don't like what you're doing, I'm going to start something else. If I don't like how you treated so-and-so, I'm going to go do something else. If I don't like that your husband likes you, well, I'm going to try to get your husband because I don't want him to like you. If I don't like that you are friends with this girl, I'm going to go over there and tell her she shouldn't be friends with you. Because, see, the problem that we are facing in the world is me. Me, the individual, me, Carrie is the problem. Carrie won't admit sometimes that she struggles with racism and prejudice. Carrie won't admit that sometimes she can't understand why the church can't get in line and follow the Bible. Carrie will admit that sometimes I don't like certain people because they don't want to tell the truth. Carrie won't admit that there are moments in her life that she would rather say some words that aren't very nice in order to convey a point so you will move on and leave her alone. Carrie will not admit that there are times that my mouth gets me in trouble because I say what I think without thinking about, is this the right time to say those words? Because, see, when it's about me, I only care if me comes out on top. Worthy women, I'm telling you right now in 2020 and for the rest 2021 and for the rest of your life, we can't say what about me any longer. It's not about you anymore. And here's what's crazy. It's never been about you. You know, we always try to make it seem like, you know, as parents and you know how people do, where parents or bosses or girlfriends or whatever, we're just like, yeah. You know, it's not about me. It's about what's good for everybody else. What can I do to serve people? But in real life, we're lying. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you the truth. I love helping. I love serving, but I am only gonna help you and serve you so much. If I feel like every time I come over to do those things and you don't care about me and you're not even offering a thank you note or a thank you text, then I start thinking, what about me in this situation? And I lose all focus on what I'm actually supposed to be doing, because what's happening is, it's about me. Do y'all understand that? We have made everything about me. What I wear, what I eat, where I live, where I go to church, who I associate with, what job I do, what college I attend, who are my friends. Everything in our lives is about me. Now, you might say, Carrie, that makes sense because, well, we're individuals. True indeed, we are. True. But if you really ever thought about your life in its entirety, your life is more than just you. Even if you're not a parent, even if you have never been married, your life is more than just you. You still have a purpose. You still have a destiny. You still have worthiness. You still have strength. You still have honor. Your life is just not about you. But because we have allowed ourselves, see, I can't, because of this revelation for me, I can't even pass the buck to circumstances. I can't say it's because of the political climate. I can't even say anymore it's because racism has always been a problem. I can't say that anymore because racism begins with me. Hatred begins with me. Jealousy begins with me. Envy and strife and malice and gossiping, those things, worthy women, they begin with me. But I am blown away, and this is the gospel, that although me can start all of those negative things, me can also start love and joy and peace and bridge building. I can be loving. I can be helpful. I can be whole. I can be repentive. I can be restorative. I could be those things too, but I don't want to be that. I just got to be me. That's what the song said back in the day. I just got to be me. But what me do you really want to be? What me? What me? So I want to leave you with this example. There's a movie. It's called What About Bob? It's real old, so I'm sure most of y'all have seen it or you've seen parts of it. Well, anyway, in the movie, Bob has multiple personality disorders. Anyway, he has mental health. So this is not a slight to that at all. But the psychologist and the psychiatrist that he's assigned to, he goes out of town and Bob doesn't want him to go out of town. So he ends up showing up where the psychologist and his family are on vacation. Anyway, see, I've seen the movie, so it's no big deal. But this is what I thought about, because the movie's called What About Bob, right? And so throughout the movie, I literally would sit there and think, this is so weird. Like, I understand that the guy has problems, but why did he go follow him? And why didn't he just stay home and wait for his doctor to come back home? Well, today I got a revelation about this movie, and I think it's because I don't want my life to be about me anymore. I want to stop saying, what about me? What about me? And this is what I understood today differently about that movie. See, y'all, during the movie, Bob, unbeknownst to him, was really showing the doctor he was the problem. Because, see, the doctor was like, Bob, you don't know what to do. You need to listen to me. Take these medicines. Bob, I don't want you to talk to my son. Bob, I don't want you to talk to my daughter. Don't make my wife laugh. Do all these things. Now, but what Bob was doing, well, he was not about me. He was about being kind to his wife, being kind and having fun with his children. He was doing the things that the doctor was supposed to be doing every single day. But the doctor had got so caught up in what about me that he was neglecting the things he was supposed to be doing every single day. And I wonder, worthy women, if we've had some Bobs into our lives to remind us, what are the things what are the things that Carrie, I need to be focusing on every day? I wonder if me has gotten too busy with my career, with my family, with my finances, with my dreams, with my side hustle, with my grind, with my whatever, that I have neglected to do the things that make me, that I have walked away from my destiny, my God-given purpose. I have walked away from me because I would rather say, what about sister so-and-so? What about brother so-and-so? What about that girl over there? What about that guy over there? When all of the time I should be saying, what about me? Because honestly, me needs to get it together. So for 2021, worthy women, that's what we're going to do. We're going to worry about me. And I don't mean worry in the sense that we'll have anxiety or we'll have fret. No, we are going to change our vocabulary, and we are going to stop looking at everyone else and saying it's because of this circumstance or this situation or where I am or where I live or I don't have the resources. We're going to change that entire mindset. We're going to change that belief system from what about all of these people out here to what about me? What am I doing to change me? What am I doing to change me? Because really, once me gets in order, everything else will get in order. So this is 2021, worthy women, and I can't wait for us to go all the way in on what about me. So the next time you find yourself complaining, the next time you find yourself thinking of private affairs that you could do in an offensive motive to make your point across to sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so, I want you to ask yourself, am I making this about me? And if you have to hesitate to answer, you know that the answer is yes. So I don't want us to say, what about me? Not one more day. Because this life is not about you. I can't wait to see you. 52 weeks and we are 1 week down. Worthy women, I love y'all so much. What about me? 2021. I'll see y'all next week.